There were some NBA trades. So far, it's only been two, unless one of them broke while we've been recording, which I don't see one. So we happen to be, with this being the best podcast in the world, we happen to have a Kings fan up here, and we got a Lakers fan, Hornets fan. So I'm gonna say my little bit and then get out y'all way because
This should
y'all
be
were
quick.
truly
Go
impact.
ahead.
Yeah, I feel like the Mavs could have got a lot more. Um, Clearly the obvious, but I do think the Mavs are right now the second best team in the West so far until, assuming no more moves are made, even though there will be. But at this moment in time, I got them in the second best team in the West. Um, and the Bulls giving up Zach LaVine and getting nothing back for it makes me feel like they're for sure tanking, which for my Hornets mean there's a chance Lonzo is available. Hopefully they release him. He comes on to Charlotte with Melo, and every time Gelo drop a new song, he perform at halftime, and we got Ball brothers tanking all the way to get that one guy from Duke.
We're on the
Um,
court.
So you
yeah,
saying that's the only way they're gonna all share the same floor? The
yeah,
Jello
yeah,
perform at halftime.
and I'm in the building. I'm going. Gelo performing, I'm going. On
Oh
Lonzo
man,
first game, but yeah,
that's tragic.
that's kind of really my whole take from it. And we can go to the Kings fan, and then we'll finish off with the Lakers guy on the big trade.
Yeah, nah. Kings wise, man. Salute to my guy, De'Aaron Fox, man. As you see, I'm a real Kings fan. Been rocking with the Kings since Mitch Richmond days back in the day. When we was kind of good, bad, got good, bad again. We was cheated. Adam know it. We was cheated. With the ref, you already know that, man. Western
Facts,
Conference
facts,
Finals, we was
Don't
cheated.
recall.
It's
facts.
all good, but
Don't recall.
nah, man. I think we. I personally, I've always been consistent. I felt like we the worst run organization in sports. A lot of people try to say the Browns and different things like that, but at the same time, the Kings, we've been consistently bad for about 2 decades at this point. We've had top draft picks, still haven't got no better. We finally made the playoffs 2 years ago. So that's the first time we've made the playoffs in about 20 years, bro. I mean, it's no comparison. We're a
The
terrible ran
Bean
organization.
Team.
We've been through multiple owners, bro. We're bad, bro. We're so bad. We got a new stadium. We're still bad. We typically mishandle players badly. It's crazy because a lot of people are talking about, of course, the Dallas trade with Luka as such, but when you really think about it, I mean, the Mavs had Brunson and Luka, which, I mean, both of them parted ways, but let's not forget about the Kings. We had Fox and Halliburton, and we both let them walk as well. We actually traded them. So, I mean, when you sit there
I
and you
mean,
look
bro.
at that, with all that being said, though, as far as this trade with Fox, I was prepared to, once Fox requested a trade, I was prepared for us to get nothing back. The fact that we were able to flip that into Zach LaVine I actually like that. I'm actually cool. I felt like we did right by Fox, and Fox did right by us, man. He been a professional the whole time. We had a couple guys in there like Boogie Cousins, love him to death, was a great king, was a great Sacramento king, but they didn't handle professionalism well when he wanted to dip on out. Fox did. He chose to do it his way. He handled it professionally, and I mean he was rewarded. He went to the Spurs. The only thing that sucks is we might have just handed the Spurs a baby dynasty coming up soon. In about 3-4 years, especially with that young core like that. But at the same time, for us to get LaVine back, and then we still got Debo. So we were pretty much the Bulls on the West Coast, but with a better roster. I think Keegan Murray's better, you know what I'm saying, than who they have at the wing. I forgot at the time. But, Lonzo was hurt. Kobe White was coming along, but Kobe White and Malik Monk, I could feel like those are on the same tier of players.
I think they had
But,
Patrick Williams.
Pat Williams. Okay, yeah. So Murray, shout out to Charlotte, Pat Williams. So I feel like Murray still, though, is better than Pat Williams. I mean, he's younger, but he still feel like he's better than Pat Williams. And then, of course, the biggest thing is going to be, we got Sabonis over Valanciunas, so that's like a no-brainer. But I feel like, with this move, we didn't automatically go right back into tank mode. We still got something salvageable with the season. I'm hoping that if we can't get a good playoff spot under Doug Christie right now, we can at least get to play in and be a play-in team. So, as far as the Kings, I'm happy for what we actually turned that into. You know what I'm saying? So, salute to you, Fox. You gave us all you had. 8 great seasons in Sacramento. We really appreciate it, man. You did everything for the city. You did everything you could do. You know what I'm saying? We chose you over Halliburton in the trade talks because we could have took you too. So, for us to do that, you still came out. You still played hard. You still did what you need to do. Your team just not got any better. So, I can't really be mad and be fault you for that because I know you probably wasn't going to sign that max back with us. So, at least we got something out of return for it. It's the Kings report.
That was That was a nice vent session, dog. God.
That's the team's report, bro.
I thought it was gonna be a little bit more back and forth. Then
Bro,
Carter just took over the
I just had to
segment.
go on a straight King soliloquy. You know what I'm saying? I hope this makes it to the King's
Yo,
official page and everything, bro. I should have told him to cut,
Carter,
straight drop my
that
camera.
was
You know what I'm saying?
when we click that up, 100%. We're gonna have to tag the Kings in that. Like, they gotta know how
Yeah.
they fan feels. But yeah, man, I really just to touch on what you just said, bro. I was when I called you after it happened, I was like, yo, it's a good move for y'all because the West is kind of in a weird spot where I feel like y'all's talent is good enough where you could be like a 4 or 5 seed. But my whole thing is, it's like we just saw Zach and DeMar together on the East Coast, and so when I thought about it more, bro, they got to be getting ready to flip one of them for something. I think they were just like, yo, we don't want to get De'Aaron Fox for whatever trash picks they might give us because they're gonna give us some picks for down the line. The Spurs are gonna be probably good by then, and they don't got no players we really want. So they was like, why don't we get a piece that we can actually flip for something? Somebody gonna want Zach LaVine. You know what I'm saying? But they're not gonna keep that team together. We already saw it in Chicago. There's really no way they sitting there thinking they can win a championship with that roster. You know what I'm saying? So
But it's hard. Who else we really gonna get? So that's what I'm saying. We probably gonna offer Zach a bag. He wanted to come
I'm
here
saying
anyway, and
flip
we
him for
wanted
something
him
who's
anyway.
actually got. I'm talking about flipping for somebody who's actually got some picks that is worth a damn. Like the Thunder got everybody's picks. I'm not saying the Thunder is going to do it. I'm just talking about a team who might have a couple picks. I don't know. I don't be looking at the spot track and enjoying, but there's got to be something else brewing with that. Because I mean, there's
want
no
no
way that
picks,
I know
bro.
that.
We don't
You said
utilize
what?
them right. I don't want any picks. We don't utilize
Carter,
them right.
y'all
We don't have
really
a
don't
good
got
scouting
no.
department. We don't got a good development department.
Carter, y'all ain't
We're
got no
not good
choice,
at
bro.
all.
You don't got no choice unless y'all are
Shoot.
just content
We
with
rock
trying
out
to
with
win 40 or
DeMar.
45 games.
I mean, we rock
It
out with
is what it is.
DeMar and LaVine and see if we can get in the play in and go from there. At least throughout this season. I mean, next year, it's up in the air. We got to see what free agency gonna be. But shit, man, trade us Luka. Shit, cut all the
Chill
bullshit.
out, bro.
Trade us
I
Luka,
mean,
bro.
speaking of Luka, man, the Lakers is back. All right. I mean,
Trade us Luka, man.
the Lakers. Well, I mean, back like we never left because we ain't never
Time,
left. All right.
time out.
What's
When
up?
you say back, do you mean back like for the future or this season? Because
Just back.
y'all not
I
back for
mean,
this
just
season.
the aura, the Laker aura is back. I mean, we thought the
Okay.
aura was gone. Like, yo, LeBron is the only dude who wanted to come in. Now, Luka didn't ask to come there, but we still have that gravitas, like that. Damn, like that big trade happened, and who's in the middle of it? The Lakers. I mean, to get a top 3 player in the league, top 4, if you want to throw Shea above him, you got Giannis Joker, but he's a top 4 player, and to just get him just packaged up to us. I mean, yeah, you got to get rid of AD. So Laker Nation we thank you for your service, bro. You know what I mean? But you have to make this trade because at the end of the day, I don't think any Laker fan really thought that this iteration of the Lakers, like we had a lot of things had to fall right for them to win. Somebody had to probably get hurt above us, you know what I mean? Or we just had to have crazy luck. So the fact that we had to get rid of AD, they said he just bought a 32. I think it was Colin said he just bought a $32 million Bel Air mansion he just closed
Yeah,
on. So I know that's tough, bro, but you'll
Luka
be
just bought a
fine. You about to
15.
make,
Yeah,
yeah,
in Dallas.
He said he
but
closed
see,
last week.
Luka's gonna be tight because he just lost $100 million. I know he's glad to be in LA, but he just lost over $100 million by not being able to get that supermax, and his money's about to look a lot different than Texas, right? Whereas AD, he's about to go to Texas, and his checks is about to spend way longer than he did in LA. So he probably it's probably gonna take him about 3 or 4 months to settle in, and he's gonna be like, yo, this shit ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? I'll be right back in Calabasas in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? But my checks need to come here. They need to be addressed to Texas. You know what I mean? Get that non-income tax. But yeah, man, I'm happy about it, fellas. I'm happy. I know y'all are salty. I mean, I rock with Buzz City Spade, so I know you know, I know you feel some type of way. And Carter, I know you hate the Lakers. I know you really hate the Lakers. I try to show every time I try to show you love, you throw stuff in my face. So take this. You know what I'm saying? That's all I really got to say, fellas.
Man,
What
I think it's you go ahead, Spade. My bad.
I was just about to say, what color ski mask did y'all wear when y'all did that robbery?
Purple and
Like
gold.
that's okay, okay.
Yeah.
One first round pick, like that's crazy.
It was a
Like
robbery, but we don't
Any way
care.
you spin it, it just doesn't make sense to me. Just any way you spin it, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get how you trade a 31-year-old player for a 25-year-old mega
Fellas,
star, bro. But
I still
I
don't
told you,
understand
man.
it.
I got I feel like it's conspiracy, bro. I just feel like I honestly feel like these NBA players, these owners don't want to pay these supermax contracts, and going ahead to
yeah,
getting rid of Luka would be, aside from Shea, he would be the last one who really be eligible for it. Fox never made an All-Star game. I thought Shea, even though he was traded there, wasn't going to be eligible for it, but he still is eligible for it. But, I mean, you got to have the All-NBAs. Tatum and Brown both got it, but they had already won a ring. But I feel like when you're paying a player, you're starting to hit $80 to $85 million per season for a player. These owners ain't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just not. And, I mean, if you was the owner, you probably really wouldn't want to do it either. It ain't really the greatest business move. Plus, with the ratings and everything going down, I don't know. It's just too fishy, bro. Stern would have vetoed that.
My bad. Go ahead.
Is there any chance that you feel? Are you nervous that y'all got a lemon?
No, I don't even know what the hell you talk about. But no, there's no chance.
You've never heard the phrase like a lemon of like you buy a car and you get home and realize the car don't work. That's called a lemon. Like there's a whole lot of everybody keep hitting that. Maybe the Mavs know something. Like there is more of an issue with Luka than what is out there. And
dude,
okay.
Dude, just saying these ladies. He was just in the
NBA Finals. All right, he was just in the NBA Finals, dog. I don't care if he's 30 pounds overweight. He's not Zion. All right, he doesn't have to be super athletic to jump out the gym. So,
right. In the words of Ryan Russillo, I don't care if he's smoking a cigarette, bringing the ball up. I still trade his ass. He's 25, bro.
Sign him to the max, bro. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, whatever. It just for nothing about it. To me, it doesn't make sense. You say you can't win with him. You just made it to the finals with him. All right, he just got to the finals. You can't get much closer than that. I mean, everybody can't win, and nobody would sit there and say that the Mavericks team at the beginning of the season or even midway through the season, we even thought they would get to that point. The Celtics was favored all season, and they smacked them just like everybody thought they would do. I mean, sometimes it takes that. You got to go through the fire. Luka's going to be just fine. I just don't think there's any way we lose this trade. To me, Dallas is going to be formidable this year, but to sit there and I'm looking on TV, to sit there and say that they got better because you got a big man, another big man that increases the strength of your post play, you just lost the top 4 player in the league. You didn't get better. There's no way. The team was fit. The team was fit for Luka. That was the only last thing I'm going to say. The team was fit for Luka. You can't take Luka out of a team that's designed for him, add AD, and be like, this is a better team now. That doesn't make sense to me.
The only thing I would say is, as somebody who's ruptured their Achilles, that calf strain, I don't know how much he played this year. You look at CMC with the 49ers calf strain, never really got on the field. Like KD with his calf strain, ended up popping in the finals. I would be concerned, if I cared about if Luka performing like that. That calf strain can quickly become an Achilles real quick.
If he tears his Achilles and he's out a year, he'll be 27.
He'll be 27.
I don't care.
Thing,
I mean, he'll be fine. And then my whole thing is, once again, Luka is the type of player where if he were to tear his Achilles, it's like Joker. If Joker tore his Achilles, would you be worried about him when he came back? I mean, I wouldn't. He's still going to be dominant.
The reason why I would personally be a little concerned is they're already saying his eating habits, and he's already, put on a bunch of weight. If he ruptured his Achilles, he's doing no cardio.
I get that. I mean,
he's going to come back big. And we see, it can quickly become Zion situation or Embiid situation. So that would be my only, caution to you. But at the same time, if I was the Lakers, I make the trade 100% of the time, no questions asked, and come back grinning like I just robbed the bank.
You got to.
I mean, that's what's so crazy about it. You got to make the trade, and it's like, man, for the Mavs to really give up on him. He's 25. All it really is, all the eating and all them things, all that tells me is he just ain't taking it seriously yet. But he's 25, though. You know what I'm saying?
He's dominating.
That's why. What were we taking so crazy seriously at 25? You know what I'm saying? So, he going to figure that out. And he ain't even hit his crazy prime yet. You already gave up on him. So, I mean, whatever they felt that strongly about. Yeah, exactly. Whatever they felt that strongly about, though, bro, it must be strong for them to do that. But my question to y'all, though, is what if the Mavs win a Super Bowl, or I'm sorry, my fault, wrong sport. If the Mavs win a championship in the next 2 years, then, you know what I'm saying? What's that say? Did they make the right move then?
That's tough to say. That's tough to say because they might could have still won that one, with Luka, assuming he stays upright.
Are y'all insane, bro? Look, think about the merch that Luka brings. Bro, it just doesn't equate. There's not.
I'm not saying he won. I'm just saying is that. I'm not saying they want
No,
to
I'm
trade. I'm
telling
just
you.
saying
I'm
that they
answering you.
want to. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
my
answering
bad.
your question. I think that like even if you win a championship, or now if they went roll off 2 or 3, which I don't foresee happening, but they roll off 2, then you're gonna take that every time because there's no guarantee that Luka's gonna guarantee you 2 championships. But in my opinion, it's just the risk outweighs the reward. You're banking on a 25-year-old superstar who's done nothing but dominated since he's got to the league, who packs out your gym. He's an international draw, first team every year, and you are almost every year, and you're betting against him. Basically, you're just saying like my bet is that this is not going to last that much longer. He might only have 3 more or 4 more years of his prime. To me, that's just stupid. I mean, you know what I mean? But like I said, we're gonna figure it out here in the next couple of years. Who's right, and if Nico is looking at us like I told you so. So
Yep. And with talking about NBA trades, another little quick one. Do y'all think Jimmy Butler get moved? And if he do, where? And just
Man,
for
Jimmy
me,
Butler's
I don't
handling
think he's
this
gonna
shit
get
like a.
moved.
He's handling this shit like a dumbass, bruh. Like I'm tired of his shit, bruh. Like,
tired of
what are
Jimmy
you
Bro.
doing, bruh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing,
Yeah.
bruh? Like, you continually we get it. You don't want to be there, bro. We get it, man. Just show up and go to work. A lot of times I don't want to be at work, but I'll be a fucking professional, bruh. Like, what are you doing? Then you continually getting suspended. Then the fact that you're getting suspended, you're losing all this money. At the end of the day, all you're doing is hurting yourself because now you done saved the money, so they really could not even care and let you opt back in and sit out the whole next season. They're still only going not losing any money on the cap, bro. He handled this wrong, bro. He handled this all wrong. I hope he gets traded
Yeah.
though. I ain't gonna lie. I hope he gets traded.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I do think he's going to get traded, but I don't think it's going to be to a team that he wants. I think it's going to be to a team either looking to maybe do a salary dump. Miami's going to get something back for him. The value is low. They're not about to lose him for nothing. So I think they will find a way to get a trade done by Thursday, but I just don't think it's going to be to a team he really likes. I think it's going to be a team who's hoping like that, a Toronto situation. We got a team in place that we think if we add him here and he comes and gets in the building, that he's gonna like it here and maybe want to stay. And we'll see if it can come to fruition. To be honest, I don't have any teams in mind because I didn't really think about it that deep. But unless he said he doesn't want to go to the Warriors, but if the Warriors really get him, they said the Suns are hell bent on making that happen. So if the Suns can facilitate a trade to get Bradley Beal somewhere, I mean maybe, but I do think he's gonna get moved for sure.
I just don't know where Bill would waive his no trade clause to. He said he ain't waiving it for Miami. I don't know if he would trade it to or waive it to go to the Warriors. I doubt the Warriors even want him. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
So it's like, I mean, where's he going? He's not going to waive it to go anywhere. So it sounds like he's going to stay put for real. Unless
Yeah, I
who they
think
going
it's
to get
gonna
rid
be
of?
a
Unless they get rid of KD, and that defeats the purpose.
3-14 deal we're looking at here, man. Like you're looking at putting him on. I don't know. You're looking at somebody. It's going to have to be a younger team who's is good. You know, it's like obviously he's got to waive the clause, but I think there's a team out there. There's got to be a team out there where if like he really sets his mind to it, he's like, maybe I could step into that role and be straight. Like I'm just
Orlando, he
throwing one
would go
out
to
there. But
Orlando.
Detroit, obviously Orlando would be. I think he would definitely go to Orlando. I don't know if they want him because they're so defensive minded. I don't think they want a dude who can't play no defense. But I think if the Bucks they might end up making that deal. They might. I mean, because I think he would definitely go to Milwaukee, and they clearly need another piece. Like Chris Middleton is washed, bro. So
Bill is just
Yeah,
as washed as him.
yeah.
You
I
traded
think
apples for apples.
yeah, I think once he said he didn't want to go to the Warriors, that's where he kind of lost me. Like the suspensions, I ain't trip on too much because they did do some stuff to like kind of aggravate him to, like if you know that's a trigger point. Hey, we're gonna say we benching you. I can see him walking out. Granted, ideally you be more professional, but I ain't trip on that. But if you're about winning and you got a chance to go to the Warriors and you like no, um, if the
I
Warriors is
just think
out and if Bill didn't have a no trade, I think it gets done. But like Bradley Beal out of all people is like crazily one of the most powerful NBA players right now because he has that no trade clause. And I just can't think of a team that he would actually waive it for that would actually want him. Like the Bucks, I just can't see it. Like he's not reliable enough from a health standpoint. And when he do play, it ain't Bradley Beal, that was paired up with John Wall. It ain't that dude. So yeah, I just don't see him go to the Suns. And if he don't go to the Suns, I don't know where Jimmy would end up at.
I hear you.
Especially with it being his last year and he can opt out.
Mm,
Like you don't want to give up
yeah,
too much for half a season. And
it's gonna be
Toronto is
interesting.
probably the only. Toronto might be the only team, like you said, they didn't take the flyer on Kawhi, and they can go, hey, maybe we'll do it again with
Nah,
Jimmy.
Nah,
they're
because he's
not good
not going to
enough.
extend. He's not
It's
going
got
to.
to
He's
be a
not going to sign the
team.
extension.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's a
but
1-year rental.
even if he didn't, you would. I'm talking about a team like an Indiana who they would sign up for that. Indiana would sign up for a year of somebody to afford, and I get it. They're not as close as what we're talking. I'm just talking about a team like Indiana. They would sign up for a year of that because Toronto, they got a championship, bro. They happy. They don't. They could care less that they lost Kawhi. They're like, well, we got us a championship. Masai, his job is basically safe. You know what I mean? And he
Yeah, I mean,
traded
I don't think.
assets for a player that he wasn't able to keep.
Yeah, with
So,
that though, I think even with that, Jimmy just kind of messed himself up. You know what I'm saying? Acting the way he's acting, because now a lot of teams who probably will be willing to take a chance on him on that 1 year, not want to sign an extension, is kind of like, nah, we don't even like a Indiana. They're not probably going to touch him just by the way he acted. You can't really trust bringing him in a young locker room. I mean, I know his teammates get along with him, but when he going to explode? When he not going to get his way and just go off? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
just feel like
they
they
don't
don't
do
catch
nothing
it.
but hurt the camaraderie.
And the
Spade was
contract.
talking about. Go ahead.
I'm about to say, and the contract. Like, he's $50 million. Like, Indiana is paying Siakam and Hallenberg. So you would have to, like, scrounge up multiple contracts just to get to that number. Like, they would gut the little bit of depth they do have. So I just, even them, like, it just doesn't make sense unless you're giving up Siakam, which doesn't make sense. So,
No, I
Nah,
think you'd
and
be
yeah,
looking at like giving up a Miles Turner and like another piece, like a younger piece. You probably have to give up Benedict. You probably have to give up somebody like that.
yeah, they're not going to touch him.
But
wow.
they're not close enough. They're not close enough. Like I was just throwing out teams because, like I told you, I hadn't really thought about it. The Suns is clearly the best fit because the money just matches up. It's just that Bradley Beal ain't trying to go to Miami, which I get it. I think the only reason he doesn't want to go to Miami is because it's like a pride thing. He's like, oh, y'all don't want me? Because, I mean, who wouldn't want to go to Miami, bro? He's that going, especially if the team don't want you. I don't want nobody who don't want me. So I told my ex. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And a
Yeah.
lot of places don't want them.